Well, welcome back to KoaColekin. I've got a piece of hair in my eye, so give me a second to. There we go. But yes, welcome back to KoaColekin. Second video of the week. We'll say this is just a little disclaimer. This by no means is medical advice. This is not medical advice and is not advising you to go against what the authorities say. This is just a discussion on the topic of COVID and how we should move forward, especially in light of the Omicron variant. Cole,
Okay.
your question.
Okay. So in this with COVID, and the new variant of Omicron, which is speculated to be much more highly viral, but should, in a manner of speaking, give you immunities without giving you severe illness. Should people start to just disregard testing? I mean, right now, because things need to get back to normal, wouldn't you say? I think people who go and test, they're kind of asking for it at this point. They're asking for the stay-at-home mandate that they would receive if they came back positive. They're kind of asking for it, and the symptoms would be probably mild cold, I would think. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think that, well, a lot of the times it's going to start getting confused with um, allergies. I know whenever the height of the pandemic or whatever, I had a really bad, I don't know if it's called hay fever, but basically allergic reaction to something that was blooming. And my manager asked me to go in, and a guy that was working with us had COVID the previous week, so I didn't know, and I went and got tested. So for me, I just kept on, I did 3 or 4 COVID tests last year. And I just kept burning through time that I could have been spent helping my the work I was the business I was working for, etc. And to me, it's because let's say this: as long as Omicron is the primary variant of COVID that's being transmitted, I'm not going to worry about it. I still don't advise going to work sick, but just
Right.
having a little bit of a snuffles because it's cold outside or because it's during allergy season, I wouldn't worry about it. Now, if we get into a different area where a different variant that is more deadly and has more concerns, yes. If you start having severe symptoms, I would definitely still go in. Um, but for really mild ones that you like, it's maybe Omicron or it may be something else. I'm not going to stress about it. Of course, there are going to be different rules and regulations based upon different states that you live in, like Florida, Alabama. It's just going to be like, yeah. And we're going to see where it goes from here. I think that if Omicron remains the predominant vaccine, predominant COVID variant, um, the any state that shuts down because of it is just wrecking their economy needlessly, and it may even result in us in red states not seeing an economic downturn because normally a bubble should have popped by now on the economic bubble. We've just been going up and up and up and up, and we should have a crash.
Mhm.
But it may not happen because all the rich people from the blue states and all the smart people from the blue states and all the productive people from the blue states, not all of them, but a lot of them, are just leaving. And so it may actually make it so that the red states coast through the next economic downturn without any pain because all the money is flowing into their areas, which is why I'm going into construction. So I think time will tell, but I think that red states don't care.
Mhm.
If what we cared about was the fact that it was killing a lot of people, it's not killing that many people now. Last I heard, it was something like 17 people worldwide had died with the Omicron variant in their system.
Mhm.
It's not even that they died from it, but when they died, they had Omicron. That's how mild this is. It's like freaking out about allergies. Really. So it seems kind of ridiculous to me.
Mm.
But once again, this is not medical advice. This is just an observation.
That's I would say that's pretty sound. What I kind of one thing that kind of occurred to me, um, the blue state versus red state situation. I understand red state to be Republican and blue state to be Democrat, and you know that I'm not very political right now. I am doing some studying and trying to gain more understanding. But what is it that you think causes so much of a split in this thing that we should, for the most part, be unified in opinion about?
Different preferences. Freedom to grow versus security. Freedom to risk versus security. That's what I would say the main. Yeah, I think the biggest difference is like I've my entire life is be comfortable inside your bubble. Just be happy where you are. And it's like, no, I'm not going to be happy being stuck in a position to where I have to work 20 years to be able to provide for a family. No,
Mhm.
I want to be able to create and build things. I don't want to paint because I'm not a painter and I don't enjoy painting. You know, I can, if I'm bored and I'm in a meeting, I can figure out a way to occupy my time doodling. But I'm not good at it. It's not the type of thing that I want to focus on and want to get proficient at. I want to build things. I want to create actual things, whether it's businesses, podcasts, build houses, whatever. I want to do something, and it's like, no, well, you need to go to college for that. Why? Why am I going to go to college for stuff I already know how to do or can learn in 3 months? I don't need to pay. I am in a position to get paid to do the things I want to do. I don't need to go pay someone else to do it. And it's disrupting the system. Whereas people that would largely, and that type of mentality is going to be very largely libertarian, but also some Republican mentality. But the Republican Party is primarily a libertarian party now, not entirely, but libertarian light. Whereas whereas the Democrats is we don't want to hurt people's feelings unless it's my feelings. If you're against commie, then we're going to hurt your feelings all the time. But if you're fine with communism, we're going to cater to you. We want people to be happy. Oh, that's a good point of it. It's the question. A question I have for you, for example, do you prefer happiness or purpose? That's a good way to describe it.
Okay, so I used to think that I preferred happiness. I used to think that if I had some just income that I could pay my bills and get ahead with and still live my life and be comfortable, I thought that I'd be happy. But really, that doesn't bring you happiness. So one thing that I've discovered, I mean, talking to you, um, is that having a purpose will ultimately allow for a greater sense of happiness.
And I'd say more joy as well, or more fullness. It's not just a fleeting emotion.
Right? Yeah.
And a lot of people that I see that lean left, they're living their life pursuing happiness, and they're also a lot of times the most miserable people I'm around. It's really annoying. It's like stop trying to pursue this sense of so people they want to find happiness, and I have people in my life that are like, well, don't you want me to find happiness in life? That's what I'm pursuing. I'm trying to find happiness. It's like if I find purpose, I'm way more fulfilled. If I'm actually doing something and feeling like I'm building towards my goals and accomplishing things and learning, I'm way more fulfilled and way more at ease and at peace with myself and not I don't know, stressed out is not the right word, but I feel joy in actually pursuing happiness, even though not pursuing happiness, sorry, pursuing purpose,
Pursuing your purpose. Yeah.
and building different skill sets and stuff. That's where I really find it. And whenever you're pursuing happiness, um, you know, that's where you get a lot of the crazy mentalities, such as like thinking that we can completely lock something down, or also trusting authorities. You always trust somebody else because you don't want to have to take on the responsibility of learning that topic yourself. You just go, that's an authority figure over there. Why don't you listen to him? I don't have to learn it on my own. I don't need to explain it to you. Mr. Fauci over there, he knows everything that's going on. It's like, I don't think he does. Have you looked at his history? No, he definitely knows what's going on. He has alternative motives. He has the large. He gets money from selling vaccines. No, you need to listen to the authorities. I mean, just like you aren't even thinking. You're just paying somebody else to think for you so you don't have to because you don't think you'll be happy if you have to think about this. And it's yeah.
Well, I think the issue
Yeah.
with Dr. Fauci may have just been that the mass amount of civilization was looking for answers, and oh, look at this scientist here. He has some answers for you, but really the answer that he had was very widely guesses. I'm assuming, because I didn't really listen to everything he was saying. I just kind of I
Disclaimer,
kind
this
of
is
just went
just an
with the flow.
opinion. This is just an opinion. Disclaimer.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see right there, that see if the health professionals really cared, they would have talked a lot more about staying fit and active. Because if you're fit and active, your chances of dying from COVID are pretty much zero. So, hey guys, bike. So I can't figure out how to get the bike in the. Oh, there we go. Is that better? I don't know. I give up on it now. So, but yeah. Did you have some? Does that kind of wrap that one up? I think we did a good job covering that one.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good.
So let's end the potential problematic video and go
Okay.
and go on to the next one. So
All right.
here comes 3.0.
All right.